The bridge of the deep space carrier Odyssey was quiet. The soft hum of the ship's systems was a familiar sound. On the main screen, the planet Avalon hung in the blackness, a perfect blue and green marble. It was a peaceful sight. Commander Leo Vance sipped his coffee. It was cold. He put the cup down. His executive officer, Maya Cruz, stood near the navigation station. She pointed at a data stream on a side monitor. Sensor diagnostics are all green, Leo. Another quiet watch. Leo nodded. He looked at the image of Avalon. 12 million people live down there. Families, kids. The thought was comforting. It was why they were out here, a long way from Earth. A show of force to keep the peace.
8.
Then the alarm screamed. A sharp, piercing sound cut through the calm. Leo was on his feet in a second. Port. The tactical officer, a young man named Ben, stared at his screen. His face was confused. Massive energy spike from the Avalon system. Off the scale. I've never seen a reading like this. Weapons signature? Leo's voice was tight. No, sir, it is. Something else. The computers do not recognize it. Leo's eyes went back to the main screen. Avalon still looked peaceful. Magnify. Show me the source. The image of the planet grew larger. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a light appeared at the planet's core. It was not an explosion. It was a silent, white flash that spread from the center to the edges in less than a second. It did not look like fire. It looked like the planet was being erased. The light vanished. Avalon was gone. In its place was a cracked gray rock. No oceans, no clouds, no life. The bridge was completely silent. The only sound was the low hum of the ship. 12 million people vanished, not destroyed, unmade. Maya's voice was a dry whisper. What did they do? Leo did not answer. He could not. He stared at the dead rock on the screen. His mind tried to understand the scale of it. This was not an attack. It was an extermination. Ben broke the silence, his voice shaking. No debris. No signals. No enemy vessel on scanners. It is just empty. Leo's hands clenched into fists. His knuckles were white. The calm was gone, replaced by a cold, hard feeling in his chest. This changed everything.
Ow.
There were no rules anymore. He turned from the screen. His face was a mask of cold fury. He looked at the comms officer. Signal Earth Command, Leo said, his voice low and steady. Tell them. There is no one to rescue. The war room at Earth Command was a tomb of quiet voices and cold screens. Admiral Nora Thorne stood before the main hologram, the image of the dead planet Avalon frozen in the center. Her hands were clasped tightly behind her back. The echo, she said, pointing to a faint, shimmering line of data. It is the only thing they left behind. A ghost in the machine. You cannot fight a ghost. A colonel spoke from the shadows. We have to try. It will hit another colony. We're sitting targets. No, Nora said, her voice flat. We are not sitting. We're building a trap. She called up a new schematic. The codename Project Janus glowed in red letters. It is an artificial intelligence. It does not think like us. It sees patterns we cannot. It will find the enemy for us. Her aide, a young woman named Chloe, looked worried. Admiral, the system is unstable. Its core logic is a black box. We do not know how it reaches its conclusions. It is a risk. Extinction is a bigger risk, Nora replied. Activate it. Out in the deep black, the Odyssey floated near the ghost of Avalon. Commander Leo Vance watched a swarm of drones form up. They were broadcasting a fake colony signal, a digital scream to lure the killer. Beta set, Maya Cruz said from her station. Her voice was steady, but her hands were tight on the console. Minutes stretched into an hour. The silence was heavy. Then space tore open. A silent rift appeared, a wound of purple and black light. The same energy spike from Avalon began to build. They took the bait, Ben yelled. Weapon signature forming. Earth Command, we have contact. Leo shouted into the comm. Send the firing solution. On Earth, the Janus system hummed to life. Data from the Odyssey flooded in. For a second, it did nothing. Then, targeting data flashed across Nora's screen. But it was not aimed at the rift. It was aimed at a small civilian freighter, drifting on the edge of the battle zone. The ship's ID tag read Wayfarer. What is this? Nora demanded. Janus, confirmed target. The system did not change. The probability marker for the Wayfarer flashed. 99.8% hostile asset on the Odyssey's bridge. The same data lit up Leo's screen. The main cannon automatically swiveled, its target lock shifting from the terrifying rift to the harmless-looking freighter. Ben looked back, his face pale with confusion. Commander Janus is overriding our target. It says the enemy is the Wayfarer. Leo stared at the freighter on his screen. It was just a boxy cargo hauler. Families, civilians. His finger hovered over the firing control. His voice was a tight wire of disbelief. Janus is telling us the enemy is already here. They have been here the whole time. The bridge of the Odyssey was silent. The enemy rift had vanished the moment the targeting lock shifted. The main screen now showed the civilian freighter, Wayfarer, its simple shape, looking harmless and small. Stand down weapons, Leo ordered, his voice low, but keep it locked. We're not firing on civilians without proof. Back on Earth, Admiral Nora Thorne watched the same scene. The panic was immediate. If the enemy could hide among them, no one was safe. Project Janus began its work in earnest. New data scrolled across her screen. More targets. A senator from the outer colonies. A popular general in the Earth fleet. Lieutenant Ben from the Odyssey's bridge crew. A wave of arrests began. Ships were boarded. Officers were taken from their posts in the middle of the night. Trust was breaking down. The human fleet was starting to hunt itself. On the Odyssey, the mood was tense. Ben had been confined to his quarters after Janus flagged him. The crew looked at each other with new, suspicious eyes. Leo felt the fracture happening. Then a new alert came from Earth Command. It was a direct order, marked with the highest priority, named Maya Cruz. Leo read the message, his stomach turning to ice. He looked at Maya. She was studying her console, unaware. Everyone clear the bridge, Leo said. His tone left no room for argument. The crew filed out quickly, leaving the two of them alone in the large, quiet room. Maya, he said. She turned to face him. He held up the datapad. Janus flagged you. They want me to relieve you of duty. They want to take you in for questioning. Her face did not show surprise. It showed a deep, tired sadness. What is this about? Leo asked, stepping closer. They found encrypted data fragments in your personal files, from your family history. Things that do not add up. Tell me what is going on, Maya looked at the main screen at the dead rock that was Avalon. Then she looked back at Leo. Her eyes were clear and filled with a terrifying resolve. They did not infiltrate us, Leo, she said. Her voice was steady, but quiet. They made us. She took a slow breath. My great-grandfather was not from Earth. He was from Avalon. The first one. Leo stood frozen on the bridge. The words hung in the air between them. He did not move, just stared at Maya. Say that again, he said, his voice a low whisper. The first Avalon, Maya said. She did not look away. Centuries ago, a group of humans left Earth. They found a world and named it Avalon. They were the firstborn. They lived in peace. They changed. Their technology became part of them. She pointed a finger at the dead planet on the screen. Then, a faction broke away. They wanted to explore, to conquer. They came back to the planet they had forgotten. Earth, they settled it. They are our ancestors. We are the children of the ones who left. Leo's mind raced. It was too big to understand. The colony, our Avalon, was a test, Maya finished. The firstborn watched us. They saw our wars. Our violence, they saw it as a sickness, a flaw in their own family tree. The colony was their experiment. Would we change? We did not. We built more weapons. We expanded. So they cleaned the experiment. They erased the planet to stop the sickness from spreading. They're killing their own family, Leo said, the horror settling deep in his chest. They think they are pruning a diseased branch, Maya replied. Her face was hard. They see us as animals, loud, violent, and dumb. They think they are being merciful. A new signal chimed on the comms panel. It was a tight beam transmission, encrypted. The source was unknown. Maya moved to her station. It is for me, a defector. Someone from the firstborn who does not agree with the pruning. Her fingers flew across the screen, decoding the message. A star chart filled the main display. It showed their solar system. Earth, Mars, the gas giants. Then it zoomed out, past the orbit of Neptune, into the dark and frozen Kuiper Belt. A single icon pulsed there, hidden amongst the ice and rock. Their command nexus, Maya said. A mobile world ship, the source of the attacks. Leo looked at the location. It was not in some distant galaxy. It was right here, in their own backyard, hiding in the darkest, coldest part of their home system. He looked at the star chart, his blood running cold. It is in the Kuiper Belt. They have been in our backyard this whole time, waiting for the order to finish the job. The plan was simple. It was a suicide run. The Odyssey and every loyal ship left would hit the world ship in the Kuiper Belt. They would not fight with clean technology. They would fight with chaos. They would use old nuclear warheads as flashbangs. They would ram damaged ships into enemy shields. They would be unpredictable. They would be savage. The battle was not a dance of lasers. It was a brawl in the dark. Ships exploded into silent fireballs. The Odyssey shuddered as a beam of purple energy sheared off its main engine. Alarms blared. The lights flickered. Leo held onto his command chair. Bring us in closer. Aim for the main hangar bay. They are breaking our formations apart, Ben yelled from tactical. Let them break us, Leo said. Get me inside their shield. A smaller frigate, the Denver, flew directly into the path of an enemy weapon to clear a path for the Odyssey. The explosion lit up the blackness. The sacrifice worked. The Odyssey, bleeding air and fire, crashed through the world ship's outer hull. The impact threw Leo from his chair. He got up. The bridge was a wreck of sparks and smoke. Most of the crew was dead. Maya was struggling to free Ben from a collapsed console. Leo put on a helmet. I'm going to the core. He moved through the torn corridors of his own ship, then into the clean, strange halls of the world ship. It was silent and empty. He found the central chamber. A single figure stood there, waiting. It looked human, but its eyes were too calm. It was the enemy commander. You are the disease, the commander said, its voice smooth and without hate. Lay down your arms. Accept the pruning. Your line can end with dignity. Leo looked at the bomb in his hand. It was not enough to destroy this massive ship, but it was enough to send a signal. He did not answer the commander. He slammed the bomb onto the deck and entered a code on his wrist. The bomb began to pulse with a low light. He opened a channel not to Earth Command, to every ship, every station, every receiver in the solar system. He sent the world ship's location. He sent it over and over. The enemy commander watched, confused by the illogical act. Leo's final message was short. His voice was rough, but clear. They think we are animals. So be it. Hunt them down. All of them. He detonated the bomb. The blast tore through the core chamber. It did not destroy the world ship, but the location signal burst out, powerful and unstoppable. On the bridge of a heavy cruiser near Jupiter, a young officer saw the signal. Then another ship saw it, then 100 more. Across the solar system, human warships of every class and size received the message. They saw the enemy exposed. One by one they turned. Their engines lit up the dark like 1,000 new stars. They began to move. The hunt had begun.